So the doll was already prepared from before, so I'm gonna move on to making her outfit, and I'm gonna take the doll, trace her so I can sketch out the pattern for her dress. And this is the way I do it. It doesn't mean it's correct, but it does the job. So I'm just making it in half, sketching out how the outfit is gonna go, and then I'm going to fold it from the center down so I get even parts when I cut the fabric. So I'm just cutting out the paper, and here's my pattern. I'm just erasing the lines that I didn't want from the other side, and I'm gonna cut it up, and the places where I have the lines basically are where the stitches are gonna go, so it grabs perfectly on her body and it doesn't give me weird wrinkles and stuff. So I'm sketching it on the paper again and leaving my seam allowance as well. And these are all the parts. I'm gonna start cutting the fabric. I chose some glittery fabric, and I'm gonna layer it with some pink fabric so it's not transparent. I'm gonna start cutting out the pieces. I'm not letting a lot of fabric there because I have already sketched out the seam allowance on the pattern that I did on the paper, so I have enough. So I'm just gonna pin them together with a pin, and I'm gonna start sewing. I sew everything by hand because I suck with the sewing machine. I even took lessons and I still suck. So I do everything by hand, which is something that bums me out because I do want those perfect stitches, but oh well. So I'm cutting out the bustier part and then connecting that on the rest of the thing as well. Stitching that together, and now I'm making her skirts. Basically, I just cut out long strips of fabric and I passed the thread through it. I pulled it and it became like, I don't know how to explain it, roughly. And I'm connecting two skirts together, and then on the body, and I put some pink lace on it as well to hide where the stitching is. And I'm gonna also add two purple bows that I got from Daiso in Japan, and I'm gonna move on to the face up. I'm just taking my pastels. I've already prepped her with MSC, Mr. Super Clear, and I'm gonna start sketching out the eyes. She has very prominent eye mold, so I can't really do much in changing the shape, so I'm just gonna follow it. So I'm gonna start with blushing her face now, and I'm using a bunch of colors. I'm using fuchsias, peach, purple, some yellow as well. Some yellow in the inner corner. And as for that tattoo that she has on the face, I started by doing it with colors, and I found that it was too colorful at some point, so I changed it up. I'm going into the eyes and I'm highlighting now with my white pencil, sketching out the eyes again with black just to intensify. And I'm going in the sclera, and I had decided to do it green, and then I changed my mind. It was too much, and I went for blue. making her sclera white. Every time I want to intensify the colors, I spray her with another coat of Mr. Super Clear. I'm working on the lips and gave some depth to them with a little bit of brown. And eyebrows, my nightmare. I'm also highlighting a little bit underneath her brow bone. I added one more coat of Mr. Super Clear, and I'm working on her irises, making the outer rim more dark and then working with some light baby blue inside. And I'm also going to contour her nose a little bit. Intensifying the eyeliner a little bit more with some black. So I'm basically just repeating a lot of the stuff over and over so I can get color intensity. So I'm adding a little bit of sparkle on her cheekbones, and I'm using some micro glitter. And then I took some high gloss varnish from Liquitex and some gold glitter, and I'm going over the tattoo. And I put the varnish so the glitter doesn't lose its shine. And again, I'm adding some sparkle on her eyes, and again I mixed it with some high gloss varnish. And I'm also adding a little bit of sparkle on her lips, doing the highlights on her eyes, and then glossing the irises and the lips. So as for the hair, I got this really cute hair, very cheap, from AliExpress. It was like €2. I braided it and I boil washed it to give it a nice wave. But when I took the braids out, well, not much happened. So I chose a different method, and I did the straw method. And I boiled washed it again, but also dipped it into cold water in between washes, and I did like 3-4 times repeatedly to shock the hair, and it actually worked. So it gave it a nice curl. So here's the hair. It's nice ombre purple to pink. And because I couldn't reroot and it's wefts, and I don't find the point of making wigs since I'm not going to be changing the doll, I just glued the hair straight on the head with my hot glue gun. And I found this little cute carousel from AliExpress. I made another ruffle from the same fabric as her dress, and I glued it on her head, again using hot glue gun. And for this look, I decided to put both bottom and top eyelashes on her, just to give it a more dramatic look. And I'm using jewels glue, I don't know exactly, jewelry glue. And also I'm gonna put some rhinestones on her as well. And this is the final look on her face up. I'm just gonna pop the head back on the body. And I made her some cute ballerina shoes with polymer clay, but I didn't really show the process. You should follow Walker of Colors for tutorials on shoes. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.